All right, we're going to be doing some editing with Photopea, but the first thing you need to do is you need to save your images to your downloads file on your laptop, computer, or your Chromebook. All right, so in order to do that, you need to go into your Google Drive, and I'm going to be sharing with you a shared drive. So you're going to want to click on Shared Drives, and you want to click right here in Delmar Digital Photo Video 2020-21. This is our school year shared drive that we're going to be using. And you'll notice that there's a number of different files in here. You want to go to the class period that you belong to. So if it's period 6 or period 7, you'll click on that folder, and then you're going to see a folder in there called Editing Practice Images. And what you want to do is actually download all of these 7 images, okay? But the first one we're going to be doing today is this line image here. So you're going to right-click on this, and you're going to select Download. Now you're going to notice that it's going to save here along the bottom. It's either going to save over here on the left side, or you're going to notice that it's saving over here on the right side. Now, this image is going to save to your downloads file. That's kind of where it's going to default save. All right. So, you're going to want to save all 7 of these. But for right now, I'm just going to show you the process, and I'm just going to save this one image. All right. So I'm going to come over here to my photopea.com, which is an online photo editor. We're going to be using this semester. We're going to click on File, and we're going to go to Open. And we're going to go to the downloads. Okay, so over here on the left side, you'll see some options. It may be up a little bit higher or here in the middle, or, on a Chromebook, it looks slightly different than on a laptop or a computer. So I'm going to click on downloads, but you should see kind of like here at the top, your image. And so I'm going to select that, and I'm going to open it. All right, the first step is that I need to duplicate this because we never want to work on the actual original image. So I'm going to duplicate the background layer, and I'm going to click on layer 1 here, and I'm going to call this Edit Image. And this is the image layer that I'm going to do all my edits on. And because we're just starting to learn how to use Photopea, we're going to do some really basic edits. So we're going to come over here, and we are going to go to Image Adjustments and Brightness and Contrast. Now, brightness and contrast, you can move this around wherever you need it to go. You want to be able to see your image. Brightness will either control how light it is or how dark it is. Okay, so we're going to put it up a little bit, and we'll see if we need to adjust it further. I want my fence to be slightly brighter. Now we're going to come over here to contrast, and what contrast does, it helps to make the image pop a little bit. If I go up in contrast, it's going to make the edges of the lines of these fences a little bit more crisp. If I go down, it's going to blur out those lines, especially over here on the left side, and it's going to make it a little more dull. So we want to add contrast here. Okay, so we want to make those edges snap a little bit, and we want the back of the image to snap a little bit, which is over here on the left side as well. Alrighty, so we'll say okay. The next edit we're going to do is edit. You're going to come up here to Image Adjustments, and we're going to go to Hue Saturation. Now on this one, I'm just going to talk about hue and saturation. We don't need to really adjust lightness because we already did that with brightness and contrast. Hue is another word for color. So if I go over here to the right, it'll make the fence look a little more green. If I go to the left, it'll make it look a little more red or purple. So we're going to keep that at 0 because we do not want to adjust the hue. We want to adjust just the saturation. And what saturation does is it controls the color intensity. So if I bring it up, in fact, if I bring it too far up, you'll notice that we've got this kind of like red and green dots, and that's called visual noise. And we don't want to cause visual noise in our image. So we do want to increase the saturation a little bit because that will kind of make the colors stand out a little more. But we don't want to cause visual noise. So but we do want to have a little bit of yellow popping, a little bit of green here. If we remove the saturation, you will note that it actually kind of makes the image look black and white, okay? All right, so here's where we started. And now we're going to add just a little bit of color intensity, which will make the yellow and the green stand out in the image. Click OK. So here is how it looks after it's been edited, and here's what it looks like before. Before it was a little bit dark and a little bit dull. Now it's a little bit brighter and has a little bit more color intensity. The next step is you need to save. So you're going to come over here and you're going to go File, Save as a PSD. So you're going to click on that. And you're going to see that it's going to save to your downloads file as a PSD. How do I know? So if I go over here and click on File Open, it's going to show my original image that I opened, and it's also going to show my line image. Okay? All right. So we also want to save it as a JPEG. Okay? So you're going to do two different versions of this. You're going to come over here and you're going to go to File and you're going to go to Export as a JPEG. Okay. And we want to make the quality 100%. So we're going to move this all the way up to 100% quality here. And we're going to save. And now it's going to download again. But this time it's going to save as your edited version. So if I go to File, Open, we have our edited image of line, and you can see that it's renamed to line with a 1 so that it's not the same title as the first one. Okay, so the first one was just line, and now we have line 1. But if you look at these two images, you can see that they are slightly different. Okay. All right, so now we are ready to insert this into our Elements and Principles of Design Google Slides project. So we're going to come over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to slide 5. This is where we're going to be inserting our image. And we're going to come over here and we're going to go to Insert Image, Upload from the computer. And we're going to come over here and we're going to select line 1, which is our edited image. And we're going to click Open, and it's going to insert it right here. And then we're just going to resize this by clicking on the little corners here, and we're going to move it over. And then we are going to answer these questions right here on this box, these two boxes here. All right, great.